Hey guys, it's Joanna, and you're listening to the live show on KXSC. Today we have the natives in the studio. Say hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
That's
Peace.
Gareth and
Peace.
Sinai.
Peace.
So we're going to hang out with them today in the studio. We're doing an exclusive interview and listening to some good tunes. Do you want to hit that first song?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we are. This is our music, right? Jazz is our music. It's black music. Now, here's people. We will go and watch some crossover stuff that's created by other people, but we don't even come to see our own, man. Listen, listen up. But the jazz, you know, if we had to depend upon black people to eat, we would starve to death. I mean, you've been out there. You're on the bandstand. You look out into the audience. What do you see? You see Japanese. You see West German. You see, Slabovic, anything. But except our people, man. It makes no sense. It incenses me that our own people don't realize our own heritage, our own culture. This is our music, man. That's bullshit. Why? It's all
everything you just said is. Yo, Lee, out of all the people in the world, you never gave anybody else, and look, and I love you like a stepbrother, but you never gave nobody else a chance to play their own music. You complaining about...
I'm talking about the
people
audience.
never come. That's right. The people don't come because you grandiose motherfuckers don't play that they like. If you play that they like, then the people will come. Simple as that. Like me, that's what I'm gonna do.
I see.
I don't know about you, but that's what I'm gonna do.
I see. So
I'm gonna play that everybody
like
like.
voice, man. I have my own voice, right?
Yeah.
All I'm saying, people are listening.
Everybody's deaf, brother. Ain't nobody listening.
People are listening to my voice. I'm just
nobody
complaining
coming,
that. What are you talking about? Nobody's
You
coming.
just said.
I didn't say nobody's coming.
Yo.
I said our people aren't coming. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about black people.
I respect your ambition, Willie, but you got to have vision.
Yo. They got you dudes making meals out of feces. I'm up in the game, feeling like endangered species. Believe me, books be talking to me. I am Stevie, trying to survive with my brothers. We so BG. I am extinct, speak to me with the Ouija. Chilling up in my mansion, young black Luigi. No Aesop, the life I live is no fable. In the perilous seat, the black knight of the round table. The wounded hero dying on the way to Avalon. Wanna live a day in paradise without the armor on. Nikes on my feet, so I come with the Vic. I'm dataless, watching the drown and the Vicarous flying. Didn't even know how to swim. My life out my hands, feeling like the black sim. I got me a queen, don't mess with the hoochies. Red, black, and green, but I ain't rocking Gucci. But I ain't rocking Gucci. Red, black, and green, but I ain't rocking Gucci.
Man, can't you see that's just teaching black kids to exploit their own kind? And that's sick. Well, it's not sick, man. It's sick when you get a chance to get out of a rat-infested ghetto and you don't.
I'm like a young David Deacon. New York hates me. I'm uptown with the Puerto Ricans. Got the curly hair, so these girls call me Phoenician. Cass is lost at sea, so the natives beat the beacon. But I don't leave them leaking. I put down my fists. I'm only here now cause a bad kid made a wish. Fukushima fish don't make it on my plate. Forget a date, I'm out here digging through these crates. I'm trying to kick knowledge. They look at me as so weird. Feel like a pirate with my peers, the young Blackbeard. I studied the classics. I ain't your average Negro. Know how to use my words, just the black Cicero. Fighting against the Romans. Adonai's chosen. We was once slaves, but we made it out the Atlantic Ocean. Speaking philosophy at the party, eating hummus. And my people been here way before Columbus. How's that for a start?
All right, that was Icarus from the Natives. So, guys, how did the Natives begin?
Well, we started out in high school, I think around sophomore year, was it? Sinai approached me saying like, hey, I got this hip hop project. I need a new DJ. Would you be interested? And I was really into like battling, DJing and stuff like that at the time. And I was like, sure, you know, if there's scratching involved or anything like that, sign me up. I'm down.
So you guys are from Long Beach?
Yeah. Born
Yes,
and
of
raised.
course.
Yeah.
Born and raised. It seems like there's a lot of pride going on there.
Of course.
Definitely,
I think
definitely.
there's a lot of, how do you say, like big brother mentality in the sense of, like only recently have I noticed no shots or shade towards any artist, but I recognize that a lot of people are now stating their origin stories for whatever press or publications that they're from Long Beach. When, you know, I think up until recently, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm an LA artist. And I am not an LA artist. So.
You are a Long Beach artist.
Right.
That's cool. So there's like a total distinction there.
Well, it's like a completely different city and scene. So I think if we, you know, millennial generation, whatever, get so caught up in authenticity of artists and people's origin stories, at least got to come correct.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference in the scene. I mean, if you go to any show in Long Beach, the vibe is going to be completely different than if you're going to be going to a show in LA. It feels more organic. Like when I go to an LA show, it's definitely more of a party vibe. Not that there's anything bad with that, but if you're like down in Long Beach, you'll know the difference for sure.
Okay, so how would you describe your music and how is it different from what's out there already in the hip hop scene?
We would describe it as the future.
You're a futurist?
Yes.
Yeah?
I am a brother from another planet. For example, the production is made by humans. It's not, there's no samples. It's all original production by our good friend Josh Jetson.
Okay.
So instruments and synthesizers were used. So that would be a good, a pronounced example of what something that differences ourselves. Live instrumentation, stuff
Not
like that.
all on your MacBook?
No, I mean, and there's not even a problem with that. It's just what makes it different.
More organically
More
sounding.
organic.
The sonicness.
Like a band could be used,
Yeah, that's
and they
cool.
wouldn't have problems playing the parts because there's musical notation used. So in that sense.
Cool.
But it's a secret
that.
because it sounds like hip hop. It is
Right.
hip hop, but hip hop is. I think people have a misguided and very conservative view on the limitations of hip hop, and I think that's very misguided and narrow-minded because it's just another musical genre, and in any genre there's always multiple avenues to travel to get to stuff. I think we get told like this is the hip hop. This is hip hop. This is indie rock. This is this.
Right.
And so we have, a certain perspective when we think of a certain type of music. Not to sound vague.
All right, well, why don't you show us?
Perfect. That's the perfect way.
You tell your guys in Miami, your friend, it'd be a pleasure. I kill a communist for fun, but for a green card, I'm gonna carve him up really nice.
Skinny but the mind buff. Jiming Hansen, no, I'm a diamond in the rough. My style's tough, flow pretty neat though. Forelli's better hope I never see him up in the bistro. My face is red, man. How they did De La Ooh. I'm fighting a white man killed by Shaka Zulu. Thinking about life, standing above the terrace, observing baby kids. R.I.P. Robin Harris. Shoot, we don't die, we multiply. My black humor bred white lies. I watch my cousin's eye, yes, baker's dozen. I say Hebrew prayer before I open ovens to El Shaddai, Elohim, Bismillah, Rahman, and Rahim. These young teens like, huh? Damn, why'd I even bother? I'm in the hood with sweaters, channeling Mr. Rogers.
Lesson number
They hear the words, ignore the teachings. Bugs over their windshield, Mavis beacon. I live my life about this Jansport. All my time I spend on public transport. Now peep the mysterious and stop asking. Hassan Sabat, I send out dark assassins. Be my mystical stronghold in Alamet. Supreme mathematics with Josh Jet. son of Darth Vader. Battling dark crusaders, these clowns can't vibe with this couch hater. I'm West Coast to the fullest, Pacific jazz, man from the East. Last name Shabazz, I praise the prophet before I get the profit. Thrift store polo, yeah, I have to cop it. Love couple of movies, enjoy all the plots. Patting on my ideas, I'm George C. Scott.
All right, that was what was that one called?
Alamet.
Alamet.
From
okay.
our new album, Last in the Natives, released in April on Porch Party Records. It's an indie label in Long Beach.
Comes by various ways. You get it on Bandcamp. Is it digital
It's on
form?
iTunes. It's
Yeah.
all digital distribution
And
platforms.
Also vinyl, of course.
Vinyl releases. You can find it at Amoeba if you're local,
Oh,
or
no way.
Fingerprints in Long Beach. You know, so.
Cool, cool. So tell us a little bit about that song.
That song is called Alamet. That name comes from there's a stronghold in during the Crusaders' time. It was ran by these Ismaili. They're like Shiites. Their name is where you get the modern derivative assassin, because their leader's name was Hassan Sabah, and he would send out his minions to assassinate opposing Crusaders or Turks, or in the Crusader age, he'd just send them out to take out people. And but he was a mystic. His people there's like a story about how he had some Crusaders come. They had a way stronger army than him, and they came to his stronghold and try to like parlay with him. And then, he was trying to show them like the blind loyalty of his people. And he walked up into this fortress, and he had two men standing at I think it was 250 feet in the air on these ledges. And he just pointed at one of them, and he pointed at the ground, and the man just jumped.
Wow.
And he was like showing the Crusaders the
Damn.
kind of power that he has, even though he had fewer men. But that's more powerful than.
That's some loyalty.
Yeah.
That is like.
But in that song, it's I think my existence in this world is most pronounced in terms of lyrics. So in the second verse, I say, they hear the words, ignore the teachings, bugs over their windshield, maybe speaking, which is I don't know if you ever had a Windows
Oh my
computer.
gosh, was it that typing game?
Yeah, the typing game.
Dude, I was all up on that.
Exactly.
Seriously. And the bugs on the windshield that you had to type away.
Yeah, you had to type. So if the faster you type, the faster the words would
Yeah.
come. So I think that's basically there's a lot of lessons and advice people give us that we don't pay attention to, and then it comes back to hit us in terms of bugs if you played the game. But I don't know. Lyrics mean a lot to me, so.
There's a lot going on in his lyrics that I think everybody should look into.
I'm a skinny person, but my mind is very well muscled. So in the first line is skinny, but the mind buff. Jaimin Hansu, no, I'm a diamond in the rough, because in that movie Blood Diamond, Jaimin Hansu is the main character, and
Is that with the Leo?
Leo, yeah, and he's the main character, and he picks diamonds out of the dirt. So he knows I'm a diamond because I'm shining, because I'm filthy in the traditional sense, but my worth, my value is to be determined. So, okay.
Yeah.
This is Uncle Tom, Commander-in-Chief of your Black Freedom Fighters in North America, bringing you the latest news from your fighting black underground. Hang on, brothers and sisters. Liberation is near.
The song is called Demise. Yo. Shoulder strong, 83, Howie Long. Promise Helen would never be Mr. Wrong. I'm pitchy out with the swift potential never fulfilled. I'm Montgomery Clift, a pitcher, a cider. I take before the beera. I mirror Dan Steely in the caves of Altamira. This is for them fox hunters wearing all camo. Then they slip and slide. Yes, thanks to Whammo. Dungeon Dragon, why he hit you with the woo-ha? 20 years later, aged chocolate elder Dumas. Dark Boona, strong mustache, Ottoman, Turkish. I pirouette into second movement, feel a little dervish. I love cross-dressing Mrs. Doubtfire. Marcellus was blowtorch with a pair of pliers. She like her women natural, no splendor. Yeah, my baby never throw me away, no Brenda.
I know you gonna dig this. I know you gonna dig this. Dig this.
Third world watching, ooh, I love the pressure. Eternal caravan, Santana in the desert. This is from my cholas with the drone on eyebrows. Pockets looking fat, soundtrack of the high crowd. 8 million stories for this young fife. I don't mess with guns, I just got a Bowie knife. East African boy, no Western sympathy. In the second temple, gang signs with the Pharisee. West Coast for this brown boy, call me Jerry. Hyphenated Negro, Melissa Harris Perry. I'm dark and I know how to fight, younger Kuma. Spanish poppy's cool with me, I got the suede Pumas. Capitalism at its most hungry, Gordy Gecko. Home one of few surviving examples of Art Deco. I hold my head high, even if I bop with a limp. Small market local hero, I'm Sean Kemp.
I know you gonna dig this.
So, where would you say you find your most creative self? Both,
Like location-wise, or what do you mean?
Just brain space, world space,
on the
anything.
blue line.
On the blue line.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, public transport is like your ish.
It's a great way to connect with human beings, even if you don't want to.
Yeah. You're forced almost.
Yeah, but I think it's like it needs to be. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people are just caught up in their own worlds, which aren't realistic worlds. Like, a good, like you were mentioning Facebook earlier, and that would be like a good example of us curating like a false reality, because you can kind of like pick and choose. I mean, I'm not, because I have a maxed out like account, but in the sense of like,
What do you mean?
like I have 5,000 friends on Facebook.
Oh,
I can't
Christ.
have any more friends.
Yeah. You can't?
I cannot. No.
As like a single
As a
person?
human.
Yeah,
Yeah. If I made
You have
it
to have,
like
like, a page?
if I made it a page, then
Yeah.
I could have 100,000
Like
million.
public
whatever.
figure, Sinai.
Right.
Oh, man.
He should be a public figure.
No.
Yeah,
But then he
what's
would be
going
on there
on?
too much.
Yeah, because then it would no longer be fun. I think that's what it is. But me bringing that up is because we have these like convoluted images of ourselves, because we only allow people who agree with us to be our friends. Most of us, I would count myself formerly, but like, you know, it's like that person who's like says some stupid retort on your page. You're like, you're not my friend anymore. Delete. I mean, that's not, you can't do that in the real world. It's not like
Right.
you can go to class and someone has a different opinion of you and you're like, oh, you don't agree with my
Wipe them out.
delete. Like you evaporate. So I that's one good thing about public transportation, because I always find myself surrounded by people who say the most ridiculous stuff, and they have opinions and views that I don't agree with, but I'm forced to be in their same space.
You're confronted with new things.
Exactly,
and,
whether
yeah.
I like it or not,
And they will confront you sometimes.
and they
too.
will confront me,
Yeah.
because I have a mask on my face.
So you wear this mask? Okay, so
No, I'm just kidding. I don't wear it in public.
Oh, you don't?
Not too much.
Oh, okay.
I try
so
not to.
for those of you who can't see him right now, he's wearing, how would you describe this? Like a mesh? Ish.
Have you seen Watchmen?
I have not.
Okay. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh.
Oh, bummer.
Have you seen that movie? Can you tell what I'm referencing?
That is Jillian, our videographer.
There's a character named Rorschach, and he has a mask like this, and it's always obscured his face because it's constantly changing images and stuff.
Oh.
I wasn't for sure what the visual representation of the show would be, so I would like to be covered.
Mm-hmm. So the purpose of it is because you don't want your likeness circulating? Or
No, I don't care about that. People know what I look like.
Okay.
My only issue is just like I feel like my face is too much out there, so I like there to be certain avenues of creativity that don't have anything to do with my face. I would prefer him to be the face. Plus, it would be easier because he has a white face and I have a black face.
Oh wow. Okay.
True.
Were we gonna go down that route?
I mean, the route of reality is always preferred.
The truth.
Wow.
I mean, if I could like make music and my career goals is just like to get enough in depth within the music industry for me to retire, and then I can have like a white child that I can just develop and to be the next musical rap god.
I mean,
that's my goal in life.
so are you saying? Well, okay.
I'm saying
so,
a lot of things.
Yeah, let's unpack that a little bit.
Okay.
So.
Historically, or what do you mean just now?
Well, I'm gonna ask, like, you were saying that you want Gareth's white face to be the face of the natives.
Right.
But in hip hop, the white face is not the dominant face.
Well, I mean,
do you think that?
I disagree.
There's a lot of underlying things about hip hop, even within the music industry, where it's a lot of executives. They're primarily like older white people, and they're the ones that are pushing out.
They're the ones who decide what hip hop is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Iggy, no disrespect to her, she's making money.
Right.
But she's probably gonna win a Grammy this year for a hip hop album of the year.
Man.
So I mean, and I'm not saying anything about her. Her existence is only because of the fans and popular culture dictating a demand. I mean, that's what labels do. I have no issues with where music is going or is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what I focus on. I'm just saying in terms of like marketability, I'm gonna use him versus myself.
Interesting. That's interesting, huh?
I mean, look at Macklemore. He could say something homophobic on his Twitter like a couple years ago, and now he's the Same Love guy. Face of Same Love. That just proves it.
Funny how that happens.
Yeah. People forget really, really easily.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't he have a gay uncle or something?
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Don't we all?
I don't like pretend that we're in some post-racial world or something.
Oh yeah,
so,
no.
In terms of like marketing and things like that, I even in the terms of like what kind of music that I make, for example, like I don't for a second think that we are being booked at The Smell because I am the best. I'm critically claimed the best rapper in the LA area or anything like that. I just think that the type of hip hop that we do is more easier to market to white hipsters who frequent that place, which is not a problem. It's reality. I mean, it is true. You go to The Smell, you see who's there. Mm-hmm. It's easier to market the music that we make because I have a loud, abrasive voice. The beats, the production is a little different, programmed differently than you would. It's not what you hear on the radio, so it's easier to market towards this demographic, this niche. Like that's just, you take a marketing or economics class and it just teaches. It's like, it's not personal. I don't get my feelings hurt.
All right, Judas coming up. Let's do it.
So with this record, Papa Weasel, what we're trying to say is that it's not hip-hop, it's hip-hop, rap music. Yeah. And you can't front on the people that made it.
Cold stove food up on the table. Brothers killing brothers. R.I.P. Abel. I'm feeling fly in my Technicolor robe. Life is up and down. I stay firm. Call me Job. Black Wall Street. My style ain't a rental. I got my own insurance. I got my own dental. Cash money only. No paper trail. Duffel bag under bed for mama to make bail. I'm a king amongst these queens. Yeah, Lay Ramini. My mama always been a goddess. My own Afeni. Catch me if you can, Leo. I'm with the Sata. I stay pure to the culture all day, Bambata. I got mad charisma and I eat peanut butter. Wolfing up these cats, they ain't solid. I guess you flubber. I'm with my primo, listening to Primo, riding the 7 seas and I'm brown Captain Nemo.
How do you respond to being called a pickaninny of the art world? Who said that? That's from Time Magazine. No. He said it was the Eddie Murphy of the art world. My mistake.
Young Beach Boy, yeah, we do this. Yo, the real's apostle, he was Judas. Gold medallion, I'm Kurt Angle. Young John Travolta be my favorite angel. Yo, you ain't a dancer, you a twerker. Yo, I ain't a boss, I'm a hard worker. War on the words, every day is a test. I know where I'm from, Africa on the chest. Don't get caught up in Babylon, Tower of Babel, all y'all do is just Babylon. Bunch of Nimrods worship themselves as gods. Heads is hollow while they sleep, they too Ichabod. I've been broke, I've been had big dreams. I'm on the blue, yeah, bumping Love Supreme. Watching traffic, war, and drugs, do they know the cost? Yeah, we wailing, they legalize and beat Tosh. Shout out to everyone listening.
All right, that was Judas.
It's one of my more favorite songs on the album.
Yeah, let's talk
This
about
is
it.
the
Why
song that
that?
always gets talked about at the shows.
Yeah,
So.
I think people like it a lot because it's very like this fake nostalgia that a lot of people have in terms of what is good hip hop, being centered like towards like 90s hip hop, and so it's very like boom bappy in terms of the drum production. There's like a sax sample that
Yeah.
we used, so people are like, oh yeah, it's like very like Tribe Called Quest or something. I don't know what people think in there.
Okay, so what would you say is the most exciting thing that has happened to you guys as a result of your music so far?
Like, you take that one.
I mean, being offered the chance to actually, put the record out onto vinyl was pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Just the limited amount of traveling that we've done so far, I really enjoy. We got to go up to Oakland this summer and play a show up there, and
It's very interesting. I mean, it's very interesting as a creative to, get paid to be creative.
Yeah, that is the dream, isn't it?
Yeah, ideally. I mean, it's always great when you're your own man, woman, whatever your gender is, or non-binary people. It's just great to be your own human being and be positively praised for it, financially speaking. I mean, words and all that is great too. I appreciate that stuff. But yeah, it's great, and I think that's the position that we are posed in. We've been playing, we've been doing live music for a long amount of time. So I think there's this like plateau that a lot of artists reach where you finally like start to like feel yourself moving in a certain type of way, and then it's like, well, what do I transition? How do I make this transition? And I think that's where we are right now.
yeah, the breakout phase is definitely something that you have to do. You don't want to. You could always be playing a lot of shows, but do you want to be always playing the same type of shows forever, or do you want to move to something bigger? It's just, you have to break out and you have to start doing bigger things. If that's your ultimate goal, no problems. Like if you're down to play local shows, that's cool, but
there's nothing wrong with that.
The ultimate goal is obviously we want to do something bigger.
Yeah, it's all about having realistic expectations for where your career can go to, and realistically, I know where we can go, and it's not where we are right now.
That's awesome, though, that you have your sights set. You have do you have like a kind of a game plan, or is it just kind of day by day? When opportunity knocks, you take it.
Yeah, I mean, game plan, like just got like, ASCAP stuff and register with a music licensing company. So if you hear any music that's similar to ours, that's on some TV stuff or a commercial, like that's what that's about. So that kind of stuff is cool, and it helps with like placing us more out and working on a new album and stuff. But just try to keep it organic, not like structures like today is make music day and like it's just it comes when it comes and it goes when it goes. That's what being like a whole conduit is, instead of like a business person. I think a lot of people make music because it's a business, which is fine. I don't think the creation of art should be the business part of it. I think the implementation of it should be the business part of it. And it's like it's very backwards for many people, which is it reflects within their quote unquote art.
All right, let's flow into that next song.
What is it?
Sisyphus.
Oh, right, cool. He's a nice guy.
So, Matt, it's for me. It's not for nobody else to see. I don't care. I don't care about nobody else seeing it or the fact if they can read it or not. It's for me and other graffiti writers that we can read it. All these other people who don't write, they're excluded. I don't care about them. You know, they don't matter to me. It's for us.
Hip-hop is my racket. I treat them like a macaron. I be the only black guy up at the rapper shows. I'm a killer. My clientele be supreme. Your life sucks. Gift certificate for you to redeem. The chef told me that they would steal my ill slang. Cats is crip walking and they don't even gang bang. I ain't Dub C. I ain't Snoop Dogg. Man from the east. I don't eat hogs. I eat a lot of snapper. I eat a lot of carp. I'm trying to get my Iron Man, young Tony Stark. Eastern man, what's a hell of a plan? Always slave you like the style of Iran. I played my music at volume 10, pistol grip pump. Yes, we know the ledge, so we made the bishop jump.
Here we go.
When I was growing up,
Here we go.
all the protection we need.
Let's go.
Win some,
Here we go.
but you live.
Here we go.
Hey,
Let's go. Let's go.
you think you're a man with a gun in your hand, don't you? I'm a man without it.
Never tucked my chain in, not scared of Debo. When you mix, it's hard to make it in the hood, young Miklo. Hard to find the equal Drew when you never been kissed. Never ending labor uphill, I'm young Sisyphus. My metaphors don't get me out the projects. Imperialism existed in the times of the Aztecs. Spanish wasn't the only colonizers. Came up through their labs, now they swine flu advisors. Blood in, blood out, word to my primo. Nikola Tesla, be my favorite superhero. Young beach boy, I grew amongst the coral. My honor is my life, respect the bright blade morals. Good times, hot Cheetos, and now laters. Buff brown boy, I keep it curly, AC Slater. My guy surprised me, so I surprised her. Native man, foreign tongue, so watch the words. So watch the words. Native man, foreign tongue, so watch the words. So watch the words. So watch the words.
Go. Here we go.
Okay, that was Sisyphus. Let's talk about that one, Sinai.
Yeah. Sisyphus. It's a Greek myth. He's banished to hell, and he's forced to push a boulder up a hill. And once he reaches the precipice of the hill, it falls every day. So that's his existence that he's forced to do because he robbed. He chose to move beyond his station. He thought he was a god because he was allowed to hang out with the gods, and he ate ambrosia from the tables of Olympus. I like that song a lot. It's has a lot of like, shout out to our friend Infinity Ghost. He produced that. It has a lot of meaning to me. Like the first line is hip hop is my racket. I treat him like a McEnroe because McEnroe is known for breaking his racket. So I'm trying to break hip hop because there's a lot of previous like inclinations or beliefs on what hip hop is. And I say I be the only black guy up at the rapper shows because one time I was at the Echoplex and I was taking a piss, literally using the restroom. Sorry. I just realized we were talking about this earlier.
It's all good.
So I was using the restroom, and some dude came up to me. He's like, "Yo, man, I love your music so much, man. Like, you're dope." And I'm not saying like I'm big or anything, but sometimes people do come up to me about Natives music, and I was like, "Oh, tight." And he's like, "Yo, when are you going on tonight?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, "What is he talking about?" And then I realized, like, I don't know, it was like some black people rapping that night, and he was like, "Oh, you're the black guy that's rapping tonight." And I was like, "Oh." And then I like went out and I like noticed that there weren't really any black people there. So I was like, "Oh." So I wrote that line, which is kind of like, it's very funny to me. There's like always these instances or like videos I see on YouTube or, you know, whatever. And like rappers who tend to be black, not all of them, but they tend to be black. they like go to these they have these shows and these concerts and whatever, and they're like, where's my, you know, blankety blank at, where's my, you know, like they use certain terminology, and it's like all white crowds, and it's not like they don't know. It's an all white crowd, and I just feel very perplexed, bewildered. What are some big words?
Those are both great.
Those,
Perplexing bewilderment.
Yeah, by those kind of actions. So I try to not navigate in that avenue. Not to say not judging. It's just that's not for me.
So talking about the Echo or the Echoplex, what's your dream gig? Do you have one?
What's yours? Yeah.
Like, what venue are you playing in? What city?
It doesn't even have to be in LA. Just
yeah, anywhere.
I mean,
I would say
we were talking about this earlier.
Oh yeah.
You went to Primavera Sound.
Yeah, I did.
I would like to go and play there.
Incredible.
And play any
Primavera is pretty.
Yeah,
be pretty
it's
sick.
the pinnacle.
Everyone talks about it.
I would like to play at Carnegie Hall.
Huh. That would be a new one, right?
Yeah. I mean, all you got to do is have the right, you know, old money.
Yeah, you got to know the right people.
Institutions.
Right?
I mean, I think that's one of those things like LA versus New York type of hip hop scene, because in New York you have all these like institutions and art dealers who, because of the 80s, because of like the mass proliferation that they did of the whole like graffiti and like street art scene, because they made a lot of money off of that, more than artists did. They recognized the marketability, but more important, the financial investment hip hop and all this kind of like counterculture is to invest in. So you have like MoMA and all these kind of like traditionally, you know, things that people like me or from the places like me would not be able to go to.
Right. It's like quote unquote high culture.
Yeah, it's cool
culture,
to like book the rap guys to like play your
now
little,
it is, yeah.
Well, now it is, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
now like,
but they know it's like, because it's money involved.
Because it's the internet culture.
Versus
you
like,
have to roll with that.
Well, yeah, you got to roll with it. And it's an opportunity. I'm not knocking any of the artists that do that stuff. It's an opportunity. We should always take advantage of the opportunities that we have, especially coming from marginalized cultures that we do. It's just like in LA, that doesn't happen. Maybe at Mocha sometimes.
Yeah, Mocha. I was going to say at Mocha.
Like, that's why I was surprised like they had that step and repeat show.
Yeah, step and repeat. And then even, well, if we're talking about like even graffiti, when they had the graffiti exhibit that was presented.
Yeah, but it was graffiti from like 30 years ago.
Yeah,
that's true. It wasn't like anything new. But that's what I mean. Like in LA, there's not like, you're not going to have weekly shows being put on by NYU or the equivalent of the work that's like that going on for finding new artists. I'm not saying like the big artists. Of course, you can
have
get
you heard
like
of
a Drake or a Chance the Rapper.
Have you heard of the MoMA PS1? That's in New York.
Exactly.
That's like, that would be like, I guess step and repeat would be the closest thing we've ever had.
But they have that regularly.
Yeah, that's like the whole summer is just that PS1 thing.
Versus in LA, you don't really have that.
Yeah. We could start it.
We can. I mean, the money is there.
Yeah,
Eli Broad, all those dudes, those downtown dudes. Those imperialists.
Yeah, as soon as you show them the money,
that's all you gotta do. You gotta show them the money.
That's all you gotta do.
That's what motivates those people to care about the arts.
It's just the green.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing is purely altruistic.
No, not at all. I don't believe in altruism whatsoever. Doing nice things, I don't believe that. I don't. I do nice things, but I know I do them.
I was gonna say, are you just are purely?
No, I do nice things, but I know I do them. It's to make myself feel better. I don't do them to help people. To be honest, like,
that is honesty. That's brutally honest.
And that's I think that's what it is for most people. Most people, even if they're not religious, they have some kind of skewed. They have some skewed concept of heaven. And so, like, if I do this nice thing and this nice thing and this, we have like this corporate spirituality thing where people are like, oh, I do nice things because I want good karma, which is like another code word for like heaven or whatever we, you know what I mean? Like,
the whatever afterlife is.
Exactly. So it's like, oh, I just got to do a couple nice things today. It's
totally self-serving. I mean,
it's self-serving. And there's no problem with that. Who doesn't want to feel good?
Yeah. I would like to believe in altruism, but I don't. I think I'm on board with you on that. No one ever does anything out of pure just to be nice.
And there's wrong with that. It's just be honest with yourself. Don't like dudes are like, oh, I hold doors open for girls and they don't say like thank you to me. It's like, well, were you trying to get at her or were you just trying to hold a door open for somebody? You know what I mean?
And be kind. It wasn't a thing to get something for yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That's
All
what
right.
that is about.
Okay. And this next one coming up
Aurora.
is Aurora.
Let's go.
Do it.
I want you to remember that nobody has ever won a war by dying for his country. He won it by making the other poor die for his country.
Gorilla sign it, daddy wanna be free. Contemplate my future while I'm reading Candide. I'm trying to do it big. Small says I'm average. You trying to stay hard, we been knew you was flaccid. Oh, you mad kid? I got dirt on you, doggy. Foxy and I've been a star, you just a young froggy. Knowledge of self breeds the self-love. Chilling in my arc, waiting for the Twitter dub. The lost world in the high plateau. Sherlock Holmes vogues and hits of Madonna pose. I'm young Patton with the pearl handle. I'm still knocking out the park. 68, Mickey Mantle, Treasure Island. All my favorite writers Scottish. My tan always looking immaculate. Yes, but August Craven the Hunter. I'm a black sportsman. Nothing holds me back. No Hebrew foreskin.
You like funky? Scratching, 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 scratching,
Scratching. Straight up. Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Poker face, every move is well played. I'm in the kitchen all day, my salsa sauteed. Manual labor, pants paint speckled. Sometimes wake up, am I Hyde or am I Jekyll? You ain't special, you just living. You ain't beat the quest, fool, it's still hidden. That's why we blocked out. Damn, Matumbo, they try and celebrate with walls left in El Segundo. I'm rolling in the G-Ride, imported out of Cuba. White lies and white thighs and sands of Aruba. Always been a character before I learned to tweet. I've been beating my meat before I heard a tweet. Sprinkle me, I'm loyal to my soil. Arbuck on the mic, I hit you with the coil. Meat and anger, I hit you with the fauna and flora. I'm moonwalking in the dark, my goddess Aurora.